Hey everybody, Gage here from Sharp. We just got an awesome comment from one of our lovely subscribers named Sustainable_Flight. He recommended that we cut up a bunch of sweet potatoes with like as many gyutos as we possibly could. I think this is an awesome idea. It's going to give you a really good understanding of like what to look for when you're purchasing a knife for this specific task or for other ingredients that are a little bit harder and more dense. You might be surprised to find out that some of the more expensive knives don't always outperform some of the more affordable knives. You need a really thin blade and one that's got really gradual blade geometry to cut through a sweet potato really effortlessly. So yeah, we're going to do just that, cut up a bunch of sweet potatoes. How this is going to work is we're going to take our sweet potato, we're going to cut some planks off of the sweet potato, we're going to julienne those planks, we're going to take the other half of the sweet potato, cut it right in half and do sort of like a large dice on the other half and see how things go. We're going to score out of 10 and we're going to get started with this Masahiro 240mm wide gyuto. I guess like, yeah, it's super sharp and it's going through really well. It's definitely, I'm feeling a little bit of resistance in comparison to the other knives that we've done so far. It's certainly not bad by any means, like it's quite awesome in fact. This is the one that I thought was going to score the lowest, and it probably will end up scoring towards the bottom, but it's still performing really well.
I'm curious to see if it steers on the big chunk.
Well, that's what I was noticing when I was doing the planks. Like it like you said, a little bit thicker. It does feel like it's steering a little bit, but it's not bad. Yeah, the handle leaves a little bit to be desired, but for the price, user error. For the price, man, that's like you can't complain about that too much. Yeah, you didn't see that a little bit, but if you can see my cut here, did have a little steerage happening there. To be expected, I think. It does, and when we're doing, you can hear it kind of like ripping a little bit now, eh? Yeah, so like it performs really well right now. As this knife gets a little older and you sharpen it a couple times, I'm assuming it's gonna be not super fun to use for a sweet potato, but right out of the box, felt really great. I can't give it 2. I'm gonna go like 8.4. Ryusen Hamono Fukakuryu 210mm Gyuto. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, I gotta say. 210, so already at a bit of a disadvantage because the 240s are always gonna be a little bit better. But that felt fantastic. Do a little julienne here. You're not quite julienne, we know baton, but just flying right through, man. Yeah. I mean, as to be expected from Ryusen Hamono, these guys feel fantastic, always. Yeah, definitely a little bit more on the delicate side, I would say, so keep that in mind. But yeah, like, look at that. Yeah, fantastic. I can't go 10 out of 10. I'm gonna go 9.2. Kenshiro Hatono, Shirogami number 2, 215mm Gyuto. Ooh, baby. Yeah, another one of my favorite knife makers right now, Kenshiro Hatono. These guys feel fantastic. Oh, user error. Okay, successful julienne test. Yeah. I'm going 9.4 on that guy.
9-4.
9-4.
Better
Felt
than
fantastic. Ittetsu DT 210mm Gyuto. Wow, you know what? This is one of the knives I didn't have like the highest hopes for, but I am often wrong, as you guys point out all the time. We appreciate it though. Love being wrong. Yeah, that feels fantastic, man. A little rock chopping. I'm very impressed. This is like one of the more affordable knives we're gonna check out today. I'm not usually a huge fan of the Western handles, but this guy feels super comfy. One of the things I do notice about these guys often is they'll get like stained orange a little bit, but you know, we'll wipe them down pretty good. It comes off pretty well. Oh, this is not the nicest sweet potato. Knife doesn't know that, going through no problem. Yeah, wow, I'm super impressed with this guy. Man, what? I'm gonna go 9-1 on this guy. Hatsukokoro Kurokaze 210mm Gyuto. I know what you're saying, Gage. That sweet potato is so small. Well, you know what? Walmart only had so many sweet potatoes. I bought them out of their full supply, so we're just gonna have to make do. Yeah, I love these Kurokazes. I feel like they don't get enough appreciation, and by that I mean people don't buy them that much.
These are a favorite of mine as well.
Yeah, they fit like, that's silky smooth, my friend. Little user error there at the end, just to, you know. Really nice profile on these guys. They're like sweepy enough that obviously you can do some nice rocking with them, but they're not so sweepy that you can't also do some sweet push cuts, pull cuts, whatever you want to do. Really digging this guy. This is a super, sir.
That sounded nice.
Sir. Yeah, these guys always blow me away, man. They often have like some like little minor like aesthetic issues with them when we get them in. I was gonna say they're a little bit sticky. That didn't feel super sticky. I mean, it was a little bit sticky, but I mean, that was pretty sweet. That felt great. Yeah, I love these guys. These are right up my alley. I love the Kurouchi finish, stainless clad, Shirogami #2, super sharp right out of the box. You gotta go pretty high for this guy. I'm gonna go like a 9.5 on this guy. Woo! Yeah.
New winner so far.
That's up there. Ryusen Hamono Souryurin 240mm Gyuto. Souryurin. I'm practicing that word as often as I can. Souryurin. I think I'm getting pretty good at it. Souryurin. I could probably maybe not use such an odd accent every time I say it. Someone said I sound Swedish when I speak Japanese. I think maybe when I say Souryurin, it sounds a little bit Swedish. Yep. Hear that? This guy is sweet. I would argue, just doing a little rocking here, it's a little flat. Like, I definitely don't, like, it feels great, but can you hear it? Like when I do the rocking, it's got like a little bit of, yeah, it's a little flat for my taste for a rock chopper, but I don't really ever do a ton of rock chopping, and it's fantastic for the push and pull cuts, right? So, yeah, but I guess in all fairness, we have to rate these based on all aspects of the cutting experience. So, with that, I will keep that in mind when I give my final score. Okay, that was user error. That was beautiful. Yeah. Like, man. Yeah.
Love that noise.
Yeah, it sounds so nice. A little bit sticky, just a tiny bit, but yeah, can't complain about these really. With that in mind, I think the knife we did before this was the Kurokaze, and we gave that a 9.5. It was real close to that Kurokaze, but not quite. So I'm gonna go like I'd say it's about the same as the Fukakuryu, which I gave 9.4. So I'm gonna go 9.4 on this one as well. Fujiwara Denka 300mm Gyuto. I mean, dude. We saved the biggest potato for the biggest knife, the 300mm Denka. It's a little bit cheating, right? Because when knives get this long, like the blade geometry on them is always like pretty spectacular. I was obviously very nervous about this. Like, I don't want to have to give this guy a lame score because, you know, we are
Fujiwara will show up at your house.
we are a business. We kind of need to sell these knives too, right? And I'm happy to report that this guy is like, man.
I'm curious to see how it does on like the big chunks because it is still a big.
Right?
Blade.
I am interested to see how this goes too. Okay, well, we won't keep you waiting any longer. Here we go. Okay, and obviously, full send here. Full send here. No apprehension. Oh, yeah, we're a little wedgy. We're a little wedgy on this guy. Oh, I cut right into the board. Yeah, so honestly, kind of what I was anticipating was gonna happen. We're a little wedgy. But it's certainly not bad. And obviously it's just so hefty that it has no problem whatsoever going through anyways.
Did you actually get any crack on the bottom of that? No?
I don't think so.
No?
Like it sounded a little bit cracky as I was coming through like the big slice, but it's like all pretty clean there. And when I was doing those big chunks, I got no cracks. And then I guess the advantage of this guy, because it's a little, a little thicker, no stickage whatsoever, eh? Like that was really nice. But I mean,
That's worth something.
It's worth something, but in good faith, I can't rate this guy quite as high as some of the other ones. So I'm gonna go 8.9. 8.9. Shiro Kamo Gyuto 215mm. A little bit of stickage, a little sticky, a little bit of stickage.
I had high hopes for this one.
I mean, certainly not bad. I'm gonna have to ding it a little bit for the stickage, though. That's just, that's how we play the game. Gotta be fair and honest. But I mean, that felt good. Everything Shiro Kamo is fantastic. Love Shiro Kamo knives. Initial thoughts, is this going to be the best sweet potato knife? No, but is it bad? Definitely not. In fact, it's very good. Very good. Roast pile. Pew. All right, moment of truth. Yeah. So funny, eh? Because like a little bit of stickage when we were doing the planks, but very nice food release when we're doing the large chunks. So gets some points back for that. Okay, yeah. So really nice. Not quite to the same level as the Fukakuryus. Let's go 9.1 on this guy. Really nice, really good. Yoshikane 210mm Gyuto. I mean,
a little bit of stickage though.
Like a little bit, sure. I mean, it's not always easy to get across like how the cutting feels, but that felt just fantastic. Almost got my pinky there. Careful, Gage. Yeah, yeah. Can't give away too much here before the end of the thing here. Yeah, this thing's a frickin' laser beam. Sharks with laser beams attached to their frickin' heads. This Yoshikane is a laser in its own right. Oh, that was disappointing.
Crack?
Well, I wouldn't say it was a crack, but it definitely got, like, I had very high expectations for this knife, so I did give it the largest, or one of the largest sweet potatoes to cut. So I think just by, like, now you can hear, like, it's not, like, that's really...
It's kind of a funny looking sweet potato, though. Like.
Yeah, it's a little bit spongy on the inside. But man, that definitely felt the best out of everything we've tested so far. A little bit of stickage maybe on the planks, but rock chopping motion felt fantastic. Push cut, really nice. These guys are pretty flat profile, so I would say like they're not the greatest for rock chopping, but that felt really awesome. Yeah, a little bit strange going through the big half there, but honestly, man, this felt the best of anything I've used so far. So I'm gonna go 9.6 on the Yoshikane. Tosaichi 240mm Gyuto. Uh-oh. Man, I mean, this is kind of illustrating the point I made at the beginning of the video. Like, the most expensive one isn't always the one that's going to be the best performing. Okay, I'm getting a little bit out of sorts here. I went in the wrong order. I might have to score it just about the same as the Fukakuryu. Yeah, we can't lie. We can't lie just because it's one of the more affordable ones. It's still not a cheap knife, though. A little bit of stickage, but like, not really. Yeah, I feel like I can't rate this any lower than the Ryusen knives, because like it felt fantastic. So I'm gonna go 9.5 on this guy. Big score. Masutani 180mm Gyuto. Man, is the most affordable knife going to get the highest score? Wouldn't that be wild? No stickage. Man.
Rocky.
The most affordable and the smallest, shortest knife we've tested today. And it's like right up there with the heavy hitters, man. Right up there. I mean, right up there might be an understatement. I gotta go 9.6. 9.6.
It is performing really well, but are you going to dink it at all for being smaller if you were going against a larger sweet potato?
I mean, I guess we did cheat a little bit. We gave the smallest knife the smallest sweet potato.
But we gave the Fujiwara the biggest potato.
That's right. So, I mean, I feel like that's justified.
I stand by.
Yeah.
9.6.
Yeah. Mutsumi Hinoura 215mm Gyuto. Really nice food release. No stickage. I didn't feel any stickage. Did you see any stickage?
I did not.
No stickage. That felt really nice. It was definitely like the rock choppiest one that we've tested so far. Wow. Jake knows. I was a little bit nervous for this guy.
I assume he knows what he's doing.
He does. Obviously, I should never have doubted him. This knife is fantastic. Feels great.
The real test for the Sanjo style, though.
Yeah. That was pretty wedgy. That was quite wedgy. We have a little bit of breakage down here at the bottom. Yeah. Wedgiest one we've had so far, but still doing well, obviously, right? But I might, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go, I think I'm gonna have to go like 8-8 on this guy. Still, obviously, like that's a great score. I'm not trying to say that this was bad for sweet potatoes by any means, but when we're comparing it to some of the thinner knives, this guy's a little thicker at the spine. So yeah, obviously got a little bit of wedge happening on the cutting the big piece in half and then doing the large dice here. We got a little bit of wedge happening, but feel like a really sturdy feeling knife. It's got a pretty swept up tip for it. So if you're more into the rocking motion, this guy will be right up your alley. So yeah, great knife. Love the look of it and feel of it, but maybe not the best sweet potato knife. Yeah, Jake makes a good point. We're rating these still quite high, right? Like 8-8 is still a pretty great score, but we're comparing these to like every other knife shape. So like Gyutos inherently are going to be the best for a sweet potato because they're a little bit longer. They've got that favorable edge geometry on them. But we're comparing these to like the world's sharpest butter knife or like a petty knife trying to go through a sweet potato. Those guys are going to get in like the 1 to 2 range, whereas all these Gyutos are going to score pretty high. So that's kind of where our head's at here. There. Kenshiro Hatono AO Super Gyuto, 215 millimeter. Okay, we got a little stickage happening there.
Kurouchi.
A little bit of stickage, but super sharp. No cracking, no wedging. This guy's going to be basically the same as the white steel version from Hatono-san. All of his knives have basically the same blade geometry on them, which is fantastic because the blade geometry is wonderful. Yeah, and this guy feels fantastic. Yeah. 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 Very little wedging. I mean, very little is, or I should say no wedging whatsoever. Look at those nice clean cuts, nice and shiny. Yeah, that felt fantastic. I'm gonna go. And it's basically, like I said, the same knife as the white steel one that we tested already. So I'm gonna give it the same score as that. I believe I gave it a 9.4. Felt like a 9.4.
9.4 it is?
9.4. Muneishi 240 millimeter Gyuto. This is a very oddly shaped sweet potato. I'm having a tough time here. User error though, the knife is performing spectacularly. Look at this. Maybe a little bit of stickage there, but this sweet potato is just so large. It's like hard to, yeah. Can't really diss the knife on that. Rock it first. Yes, you thought correctly, Jake. Fantastic rocker. Even better push cutter, I would argue. Okay. That felt really nice. Maybe a little, but this thing is monster, this sweet potato, so. Man, that felt great. Really nice. Really nice. I think I might have to go like similar to, it felt very similar to the Hatono knives, so I'm gonna bunch it up with those guys and say 9.4. Fantastic performing knife, Muneishi. Ittetsu Tafu 240 millimeter Gyuto. Okay, so two things happening here. One, the knife it feels pretty solid. Definitely not my favorite so far. And the sweet potato is just really rolly, so it was making it quite difficult to hold it in place there. Very little stickage. This is one of the most workhorsey knives that we've tested out so far. So this is maybe not one that I would always recommend for sweet potato, but I don't know, like if you're using it for like a lot of like slicing tasks in addition to like, this is one that we recommend a lot to barbecue guys because it's great for slicing like brisket. You know when you get like a little bit of that hard crustiness on the outside of a brisket or like you know you got a really nice sear on it. I mean, that was nice. Really nice sear on a ribeye or something like that. You don't want to use your super delicate knife because you might end up getting some little microchips in there. So this guy would be fantastic if you're going to do like some sweet potatoes and a bunch of slicing and stuff with it. Highly recommend. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I gotta go. What did we give the Masahiro? We gave an 8.8. I think so too. I'm gonna go 8.9 on this guy. Really nice, yeah, really nice. But yeah, just it's a little thick behind the edge, so it's a little.
Made to be tough.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. You're gonna have a hard time chipping this guy, but it comes with a bit of a trade-off. Hatsukokoro AO Super 240mm Gyuto.
Pretty good release.
That was really nice. Look at that. It stayed pretty much in a stack for me that whole time. That felt fantastic. Yeah, very little stickage. I was able to, obviously I got like really nice thin slices going here. Guys, kind of like the Ittetsu Tafu. It's a little bit thicker, but it's on the thicker side, but it's definitely thinner than the Tafu. It's feeling fantastic. I'm really digging this guy. A little pull cut there for you. I don't do that very often. Whoa. Whoa. Man. I think this is going to be a big score. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic release.
Yeah, really good food release, eh?
For a polished knife too.
Yeah, I think I gotta go pretty big on this guy. I'm gonna go like 9.2, 9.3.
Okay, 9.2.5.
9.2.5.
Okay.
No, 9. That doesn't make sense.
9.25.
9.25.
Hey.
There we go. Nigara Hamono Anmon Damascus 240mm Gyuto. Okay, we're definitely feeling a little sticky.
Black Damascus always.
A little sticky, yeah. Black Damascus. That's to be expected. Cutting feel is really nice though. It's definitely a solid knife. Yeah. Yeah, so definitely sticky. You can see it riding up the sides there. But still, like very, very, very sharp. Feels great. And this is arguably like one of the most gorgeous knives we're going to use today. I know it's not to everyone's taste, right? Like some people really like the Black Damascus. I think it looks beautiful. I think it looks really cool. And man, that was great. That was fantastic. I'm sounding surprised. I don't know why. Yeah, I'd argue it's probably the stickiest knife we've used, but obviously still like performs really well. I'm gonna go solid 9 on this guy because yeah, like cutting feel was great. Food release was not optimal, but super sharp, nice blade geometry on this guy, and you know something to be said about it being so beautiful. So yeah, solid 9, great score. Nigara Hamono Tsuchime Damascus 240mm Gyuto. Well, that just goes to show you that the finish really has a lot to do with the food release, eh? Because another Nigara Hamono, I don't know what order this video will get posted in, so...
More affordable Nigara.
More affordable Nigara. Definitely a nicer cutting feel than the Anmon. Much less stickage. Much less stickage. Falling away much easier. This guy's definitely a little taller than the Anmon, which I think is helping out a little bit as well. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this. This feels great. Okay, moment of truth. Man. Yeah. Very little stickage there again. Tiny bit of stickage. Yeah, but this got to be a big score too. I'm gonna have to go. What do you think, Jake?
9-2.
9-2.
Do the cutting.
Yeah, fair. What did I give the other one? What was the other one I gave a 9.25? 9.25. The Hayabusa. Okay, I'm gonna say this is about the Hayabusa. So I'm gonna go 9.25 on this guy as well. Big score. Big score. Tsunehisa 210mm Gyuto. Okay, our final knife here, guys. This one may or may not be on the website at the time this video is posting. Well, that felt fantastic. This guy is really meandering into my hands, though, I gotta say. Like, it feels really nice. Maybe just a little user error. I'm sure if I use this knife for dinner prep one night, I'd get used to it pretty quick. But yeah, it definitely feels like it's kind of like going into my fingers a touch. It certainly feels fantastic though, I gotta say. It's a little sticky, but it's like a high polished knife, so again, you kind of have to expect that a little bit. And I'm already starting to get used to that sort of meandering, but yeah, we're definitely pretty sticky here. Definitely pretty sticky. This is gonna end up being, I think, just a touch more expensive. This guy is I think are gonna be around the same price point as the Masutani. So for not too much money, you're getting a really great performing knife, especially on sweet potato. And like, look at that. That was clean, man. Nice and shiny cut side there. I think I can't give it quite the same as the Masutani because of the steering, and it's definitely the stickiest one I think we've used so far. All right, yeah, a little bit of stickage on this guy, most sticky one that we used so far. Super sharp, really, really thin, so it glided through super easily. I'm gonna go, I can't give the same as Masutani, but I still gotta give it a big score. I'm gonna go 9.3 on this guy. So after almost 20 knives, Masutani-san's 180mm Gyuto is the winner with a big score of 9.6. I'm a little surprised, but I'm also not super surprised. Masutani-san's knives are like made, like it's like they're made for cutting sweet potato. They're super thin at the spine, super thin behind the edge. He does a great job sharpening them. They have a little bit of that sort of textured, hand-hammered Tsuchime finish on it, which helps the food release a little bit. So yeah, really, really impressed with Masutani-san's work. Some other standouts though were the Hayabusa AO Super, Kenshiro Hatono's work. The Yoshikane was amazing. The Kurokaze was amazing. I will say, like with the Masutani, you're not getting the best edge retention out of those guys, but they're super easy to sharpen. They've got sort of a bit of a no-frills handle on them as well, but if you're looking for just pure performance with not a high price tag, the Masutani knife is fantastic. I hope this guy gave you guys a good sort of idea of what knives perform well at this sort of task. We really appreciated this video idea. If you have any video ideas of your own, we would love to hear them so we can keep making this long form content for you guys, because I know how much you love it. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have shown us over the last few weeks here now that we've been posting these long forms again. And we're going to keep them coming at you. So until the next one, stay sharp.